Hi everyone, this is Andy. Welcome to day 2 of my online fantasy convention. Today's topic is building a better bad guy. So I want to talk about what we can do as writers to make our antagonists more memorable, make them stand out. One of the things that really bothers me in particular about a lot of antagonists, especially in the fantasy genre, is that they're just bad. And this goes for the protagonist as well, I have to add. They're just bad or good because the author says so. So for an antagonist, since this is what this post is about, or this talk is about, they just do all these really crappy, shitty things, despicable things, just because. And yeah, as a reader, you end up hating them because they're a pretty horrible person for doing what they do and treating people the way they do. But they're not memorable. They all blend together. You're like, yeah, okay, they're just doing all these shitty things. But you don't get any other emotion out of that. They're not effective outside of, making you hate them for doing these horrible things. They're not effective characters. They don't stand out. You don't remember them. I can't tell you how many fantasy books I have read throughout my lifetime. And the antagonists, do I really remember one from another? Not really. I know they were there and I know they did crappy things, and I'm sure I disliked them, but do I remember anything about them or what they did? No. So to me, that's what really should distinguish a bad antagonist from a good antagonist, so to speak. One that's written well, one that sticks with you and makes you go, yeah, I'm going to remember this dude. To me, being effective isn't just doing the bad things and having the reader hate you for having this character do bad things. It's making the reader, sympathetic of the person. So even though they might be doing, killing people and abusing people and torturing people, getting your readers to feel sympathy for that person, to me, that's an effective bad guy, honestly. That's an effective antagonist. When you let your readers know and understand why your antagonist became who they are and why they do the things they do. There are so many emotions that you can conjure in your readers through effective writing and creating of your characters. And it can be such a powerful thing to have happen. So how do we do this? How do we as writers make our readers feel empathy or feel wonder or feel sympathetic or feel conflicted about such a despicable character? Few things. The first thing is to remember that we as people and as humans, our past affects the way we are today, right? So our experiences, our upbringing, our walk of life, that all affects what we become and how we act. And the same should be for your character, all of your characters. But for your antagonist, you need to think of what this person or this character, doesn't have to be humanoid, but what this character has experienced to make them who they are. Were they abused? Were they, do they have a disability? Do they have a mental disability or a physical disability that they were bullied about or that they were rejected because of? Do they have, were they blackmailed for, did they see something that then they're being blackmailed for? Were they conditioned by a parent or another authority figure that they respected and looked up to become who they are? Gosh, did they do it anything? Did they do it to be noticed? Were they rejected or hated by someone that they loved and did it for attention? There are so many ways and so many things that can create the person that you're writing about and make them do whatever it is that you're having them do that makes your readers want to hate them and makes your protagonists want to fight them and want to overcome the effects that they're having on them. 2, once you have your character's background, you have to decide how you're going to tell how you're going to give that information to your readers. Okay? And there are many ways you can do this. Be creative with it. I kind of hate to say have fun because it's kind of a crappy thing to have fun about. But be creative. Are your readers going to pick up tidbits of this person's past by other characters? So, for example, is another character in getting some tidbits of information from this antagonist's past? Are they talking about their past? Are they related or do they know each other? Are they talking about what happened between them in the past? Maybe the antagonist has flashbacks, short little flashbacks interspersed throughout your book or your story. There are so many ways. Be creative. Think about how you're going to let your readers know about this person. Not just what they're doing now and currently, but who they actually are. And what might be the most effective way. One way might be more effective in certain circumstances than another way. So try different things and be open about it. For example, in A Prophecy Fulfilled, which come back tomorrow because tomorrow's stop, I guess I'll call it a stop, in our online fantasy convention is a reading that I will do from my third and final book in the Veil and Old trilogy, which is titled A Prophecy Fulfilled. And I'm going to read from the first chapter, and I kind of did this purposely because it showcases this very topic. It's actually between two characters. They're brothers, Greldir and then Kildir, who is the main antagonist of the series. And so the reader, you'll come back tomorrow. You'll learn. You'll understand. But basically, they're conversing with one another. Kildir came back in an unexpected way, and Greldir thought he was dead. And so they're sort of reminiscing, though not in a good way, about how because Kildir did not look like the other elves in his family and race, the light elves, he had darker hair, he had more olivey skin, he didn't look like the rest of the people of his race. And so his parents essentially rejected him. They didn't love him. They didn't show, they kind of, I don't want to say tease, but they kind of, there was no physical abuse really, but there was a lot of rejection. You're not loved. You're not one of us. Greldir was the one who got all the affection and got all of the attention and love and caring, and Kildir was just kind of left off to the side. And so that's kind of how he turned into the bitter person he became. But it's between the two brothers. They're talking about it, and Grelder comes to realize that at the time he did things that he didn't realize were horrible to his brother, but they were. So it's just a way that you can go about doing it, and I want to read that tomorrow. So come back tomorrow, and I will post that. So that'll be our third stop. But then going back to my long discussion, once you've decided how you're going to give this information about your antagonist to your readers, you have to, the third thing to remember is to decide how much you want to share. So for the most part, our antagonists are not the main characters, and the story does not evolve around them. They're just they're kind of a means to an end. They're a tool to get us where we need to have a story. They're the conflict in the story, or the cause of the conflict in the story. So you don't want to go on for 10 pages giving your antagonists full history of everything that ever happened to them to make your readers truly understand, right? You want to give enough so that you can conjure all the emotions and the feelings that you want your readers to feel. The confusion and the sympathy, or whatever else you might want them to feel. You want to give just enough for them to get those feelings and those emotions, and understand the character without going on and on and on and on and on. And then slowing down the pace and slowing down the story and making and kind of turning it into it more about the antagonist than the protagonist. So again, play around with that. Find little ways that you can put tiny tidbits of information interspersed throughout your book or your novella or whatever you're writing, so that your readers continually build the knowledge and continue build feelings, and their feelings might change as the story goes on, but you're not writing 3 chapters on your antagonist. So those are my tips and my views on how to write a better bad guy, how to write ones that are engaging and memorable and effective. So down in the comments, please tell me what you do to make a better bad guy, or what you think makes a better bad guy. If you're not a writer, if you're just a reader, what do you look for in the antagonists? What do they do that makes you, or what does, I guess, the author do that makes you remember them and makes you go, yeah, that was this guy. I'm gonna remember this guy. Please share down in the comments. Subscribe to my channel, because as a reminder, all the way through every day through March 29th, we are having my online fantasy convention. So every day I'm going to post a video, hopefully around 3 o'clock. Depends on how long the uploads go. Some of them are taking a little longer. The one yesterday took almost 3 hours to upload. So I know I need to get that fixed. But check back every day, subscribe so you get a notification of when I post the videos. There's going to be a bunch. Tomorrow, like I said, I'm doing, wait, let me get my calendar. Tomorrow I'm doing a reading from A Prophecy Fulfilled, like I already mentioned. And then Thursday, no, I'm sorry, tomorrow is Thursday. Friday, I'm going to do another panel talk called No Saints in Fiction, and why, we all like we do in real life have flaws. Our characters have to have flaws, or should have flaws. No one's a saint, either. No one, unless you're making an angel. But honestly, I feel like angels or gods could probably have some flaws too. So tune in on Friday the 20th for No Saints in Fiction. And if you want a full schedule and full details, please go to my website, which is down below. The link's down below. Go to the events page on my website. I have the full schedule there all the way through the 29th of everything that I will be posting. On the 29th, please mark your calendars, 3:00 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going on live on Facebook for a Q&A. So as you're watching these videos and watching the readings, and you think of a question that you want me to answer, please, please, please send me an email at andy@andyo'connor.net, which is down below. Comment here on any of these videos. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me your questions. Send them in. Talk to me, people. And I will answer all of your questions on Facebook Live on Sunday, March 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So join me for that. My Facebook link is also down below. What else do I want to say? I know what else I wanted to say. I knew there was something else. If you go to my website and the events page for my online FantasyCon, I think one of the best things about going to a convention, if you've never been one, by the way, when this whole thing is over, go to a Comic-Con or a literary fantasy convention. They're amazing and they're awesome, and you meet so many great people, and you can just be yourself and do your thing, and nobody cares and nobody judges, and it's great. But one of the best things, especially for bookworms like me and hopefully you, is that you can get some awesome books from authors that you would not have known or found otherwise. So because this is online, I am I'm selling my books on my website, website store, for my cheaper convention prices. Usually when I go to conventions, I sell my books cheaper, and if you buy the series, you get even a larger discount because there's no overheads selling them face-to-face like that, as opposed to selling them through a distributor or someone like Amazon. Excuse me, if you go to my website store, the link is below. Check it out. I'm selling all my books, autographed copies online for my in-face convention prices. Sorry, I can't talk anymore. And there's also free shipping to all of those of you in the US. So it would be like you are standing at my table and buy my books and talking to me personally, but we're doing it online. So check that out. And come back tomorrow, where you will get to see me read from A Prophecy Fulfilled. See you later.